Terrier TV. Today on our sports show, we have decided to go on to Zoom. There were maintenance problems in our in-house studio, so we decided to go back to how it all started a year and a half ago. We are here to take on one of our biggest sports specials, which is the Super Bowl. This Super Bowl is unlike any other. It has the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Rams, with the LA Rams hosting at SoFi Stadium. I mean, I think I could speak for all of us when I say this is a Super Bowl none of us in this Zoom room predicted. I don't think anybody thought that Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals were going to take over. I want to start with one question. Who do you think is going to make an impact on this game? Brian, you can start off.
So, for the Bengals, always the X factor is Joe Burrow. But if I want to be more complex here, I'm going to say Joe Mixon. As long as the run game is established and they can constantly penetrate the Rams defense through the front seven, there shouldn't be any issues for them the rest of the game because they're going to be able to mix everything up and keep Raheem Morris, a defensive coordinator for the Rams, on his toes when it comes to play calling. For the Rams, I would say on offense, keep an eye out for Odell in this one because I think Odell is going to be a bigger target in this one than Cooper. I think for Cooper Kupp, as great as receiver as he is, Odell Beckham is the X factor. They're going to be focusing on a Kupp all game. Odell's going to be wide open. If he can have an amazing game, he could end up being the Super Bowl MVP.
I agree with what you were saying, Brian, especially with the point that OBJ is going to have a bigger game than Cooper Kupp, because we know that the Bengals defense is just going to go after Cooper Kupp and they're going to attack him. But what about Odell? Odell might be more open than Cooper Kupp in the beginning of this game. And I agree with you saying that Joe Burrow is the offensive player that everybody's looking at. Joe Burrow. I'm going with Mixon as well. It could be an LSU connection as well. I think also with Jamar Chase, he might have a great game. But you know what? Honestly, it's going to come down to the defense. And my key is Cincinnati Bengals defense has to play how they played the second half during the Kansas City game in the AFC Championship game. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to stick to the offensive side of the ball, and obviously the hot topic is Jamar Chase, but I'm not going to go Jamar Chase. I'm going with T. Higgins. Obviously, the way they got to the playoffs and the way they got to the Super Bowl is the connection between Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor as head coach to devise a game plan with that horrible offensive line and just getting it to his receivers. Obviously, having the running game is a big factor, but in terms of the passing game, going with T. Higgins, he was actually the leading receiver against the Kansas City Chiefs, and obviously the Rams defense is going to focus on Jamar Chase, Ramsey versus Chase. Darius Williams is not as good as Jalen Ramsey and the other DBs that the Los Angeles Rams have. So once again, with T. Higgins, he actually was the leading receiver, 6 receptions, 103 yards versus the Chiefs, no touchdowns. But I think he's going to make an impact on this game more than people actually see.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Alex. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
Well, I want to go on and add on to what Alex said. T. Higgins, I think, is going to be a big X factor in this game. We all know the big matchup against Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey. If Jamar Chase is able to have a phenomenal game, then maybe Higgins could take a little step back. But we know Jalen Ramsey is going to come out hot. He's going to, he wants redemption because he's been getting destroyed the whole entire postseason. So I think T. Higgins, if Cincinnati is going to win this game, T. Higgins needs to step up because if he isn't out there, making plays, then Cincinnati is doomed.
Let's get into the second question, which is more targeted towards the franchise of both teams. What do you think the results of this Super Bowl is going to affect both franchises? And we'll start with Alex for this one.
So you have two different philosophies the way the teams got here. The Rams, they drafted some pieces, but through free agency and through trades, OBJ through free agency, Von Miller through the trade from the Denver Broncos. That's one side of things. You take a look at, other than the defense, the Cincinnati Bengals, which was mostly built through free agency, that offense is mostly through the draft. Joe Burrow, first overall pick of 2020, Jamar Chase, 2021, T. Higgins, second round pick, and also CJ Uzomah, who may or may not play, Joe Mixon as well from 2017. So you're looking at two different philosophies. For the Bengals, if they lose this game, and we'll get into our predictions later, if they lose this game, I don't think it's going to be a big thing. Where the Rams, it's going to be a big thing because they're going to be $8 million over the cap next year. And with that being said, they have a lot of players that are aging, a lot of players they will need to re-sign. So it's going to be an interesting task.
I agree, Alex. With the Cincinnati Bengals, they had to have those two losing seasons, the 4 wins and then the 2 wins previously. to get their players that they needed, to get Jamar Chase, to get Higgins, and to get Joe Burrow. But that's the beginning of their rebuilding. They have time and they have young guys that could continue with their franchise and grow Cincinnati. With the Rams, it's like a last shot. It's definitely a Hollywood ending. They want that Hollywood ending. They are searching for it, and that's what they want.
For the Rams, they need to win. That's it. If they lose, then this is it's a disaster of a season. You got aging stars. Who knows what the future may hold for Matthew Stafford? Will this be his only chance to win a Super Bowl? And even for Odell, Aaron Donald, a lot of guys. So it's a lot of pressure on the Rams in this game. And
also, you brought up what this will hold for Matt Stafford's future, and we know with him being the first round overpick, Joe Burrow being first round overpick, this is also something with the Super Bowl. It is the first time since 2016 2 first round overall picks are going to be in the Super facing off. And you mentioned also some connections. We have Zach Taylor, the quarterback coach. He used to be the quarterback coach and receiving coach for Sean McVay. How do you guys think this will affect them? Something to think about as well. But before we move on to that, Brian, what is your thoughts?
If you want the honest truth, I really think that for Cincinnati to win this, it's going to be big because this is a team who's rebuilding. This is a team that's still building to become a championship team. And even though they're not fully built, they made the championship. Winning the Super Bowl is just a testament to the coaching staff and everything they've done and built over these last few years. But even if they lose, it's still a testament to that. And from here, they're only going to get better and better, building up this offensive line, adding a couple big pieces in the linebacker core. What this will do is make them more dangerous. Potentially, if they win this Super Bowl, we'll have a dynasty potential on our hands with Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. And for LA, if LA wins this, I think this is a one and done year. They win it, congratulations, you got your Super Bowl. But now you have to tear everything down. But if you lose, it was a waste of time. Everybody's going to get torn down either way. So at that point, you're going to basically dismantle this great thing that you built for one successful year. So either way, the Rams are in trouble no matter what happens in this Super Bowl, and Cincinnati's only going to get better after this Super Bowl.
All right, boys, we've discussed this. We're going back and forth, Rams, Bengals. You go, players that you've seen in the league all this time never get a ring. Will you give them the ring? Or this new young group of guys coming up? I am going with Evan McPherson to secure the win with a winning field goal. He has had a winning field goal every single game this postseason. He has not missed a field goal, so he will not miss one to secure world championship. I am going 33-30 Cincinnati Bengals. I know it's a bit high scoring than people think. They might be more low scoring, but I believe it's going to be 33-30. So Alex, your score.
I was thinking of doing a high-powered offense game because it's typically seen as that, but I'm going to go a little bit of defensive here. I'm going to go 21-17 Rams win. I personally don't care who wins. I'm rooting on the Rams, though. It's going 21-17 Rams. I'm rooting for the Rams, but if the Bengals win, they win. I don't care. This is actually a watchable Super Bowl for me.
It's going to come down to defense in the end of this because the Rams defense is stronger than the Bengals defense. But I think the Bengals have the ability, like we've been saying for a long time, they have been the underdogs this entire time, this entire season, even in the postseason. But even then, they never saw themselves as underdogs. They saw themselves as competitors and a team that can win it all. They always did. And I think they still see themselves in that boat, and they're still motivated for that. And for that, I think straight on motivation alone, I'm putting Cincinnati over the Rams 28-23. It sounds a little weird of a score, but here's why. I could put money on it that Stafford and the Rams offense will not have more than 4 touchdowns this game. No more than 4 touchdowns. No more than 4. If I want to be bold, no more than 3. Because I think what's going to happen is that this secondary is going to force turnovers. These linebackers are going to pop this ball out of Akers' hands, and Burrow's going to get it back, and he's going to keep driving and drilling that ball downfield, and the Rams are not going to have answers for that. So I think it's going to come down to defensive showdown, see which defense is more formidable and able to stop the high-powered offense. But in the end, Cincinnati wins it by 5.
Well, I got 32-28 Rams in this one. You know, if Matthew Stafford shows up and throws an exceptional game with, like little to no mistakes, hopefully no turnovers, I think they got this in the bag. I'm not counting out Cincinnati at all. They could win this game. Their defense can make some stops. Joe Burrow can make plays. Their offense can make plays. Do not count them out. This reminds me, not so much, but I kind of want to say of the 2007 Giants, because nobody saw the 2007 Giants make it to the Super Bowl. No one.
And I'll pile right on top of that. You referenced the 2007 Giants. Hey, I'm going to bring up the 2005 Steelers. That was a team that nobody thought was going to win it at all. They barely snuck into the playoffs with the very young QB and Big Ben Roethlisberger. All of a sudden, here they come up the totem pole, going all the way to the Super Bowl to play this powerhouse Seattle Seahawks with a prime MVP, Sean Alexander.
Ryan, you took what I was going to bring up, but it's okay. I really agree. The 2005 Pittsburgh Steelers and 2007 Giants are very similar to the Cincinnati Bengals. And just like those two teams, they liked being the underdogs. They liked them. Nobody predicted them to be where they are. And I believe that's going to work in the advantage of the Cincinnati Bengals this year. They like to play in the underdogs. And I won't be surprised if the Cincinnati Bengals are not leading in the first half of the game. It's definitely going to be both sides putting all they have into this game because it is do or die. It is the Super Bowl. It is what they need to shine. So with that, I believe that wraps up our video today. I'm Katarina Cordero, Brian Mansell, Alex Gavicic Prochich, and Kevin Wilson. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the SFC Terrier TV YouTube channel. Give a big thumbs up to this YouTube video. Comment down below what your predictions are for this Super Bowl. And comment down below if one of us was right. All right, everyone. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.